in a battle with the federal government over a state's controversial bathroom law. The Justice Department and the state filing dueling lawsuits yesterday. State accusing the administration of government overreach. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest is in the middle of all this. He is my guest now. Sir, thank you for your time and good morning to you there in the Tar Heel
Bill, it's great to be with you this morning.
Did you expect the government to sue you? Is that why you fired the first shot yesterday morning?
Well, absolutely. Regardless of whether they decided to sue us or not, we had to fire back because really what they're doing, Bill, is completely unconstitutional. It's against the rule of law. And this is the heavy hand of the federal government using extortion to try to bully the states into having their way.
You know what the government thinks about this. Loretta Lynch,
yeah.
Strong words directed at you and others leading this fight in North Carolina. Just listen.
State-sanctioned discrimination never looks good and never works in hindsight. It was not so very long ago that states, including North Carolina, had other signs above restrooms, water fountains, and on public accommodations, keeping people out.
She is linking this directly to the civil rights movement in the history in certain parts of the country, including your state. How do you respond?
Well, I think it's shameful that you would take the protection of women and children in bathrooms, something that human decency has ruled for decades in this country, and all of a sudden equate that to Jim Crow laws in the South. It's a shameful attempt to say that somehow North Carolina is discriminating against somebody when that's not the case at all. You know, what we had was a radical, out-of-touch ordinance in the city of Charlotte that mandated that all signs have to come off bathrooms. There can be no more male and female signs on bathrooms. That's just unconscionable. And what we did is we had to strike that down. So it was unconstitutional. It was extreme. We struck it down and really returned the status quo in North Carolina. So for her to say that somehow we're discriminating in North Carolina now means that she really doesn't understand the situation that's going on here.
Help me understand this. You and others have argued the public safety side of this. Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, that means, again, that if Loretta Lynch has her way, the Justice Department has their way, then the Charlotte ordinance will go into effect, not just for Charlotte, but for the whole nation. They will use an unconstitutional ordinance in a single city to dictate bathroom law for the entire United States of America, telling businesses all across the country that you have to take down the signs on your bathrooms, and men can walk into women's bathrooms, women's changing facilities, women's showers. You know, the real discrimination here, Bill, is against women and children. The 99% of the people out there who don't want men to walk into their restrooms. And so that's where the real discrimination should be focused.
Draw the legal argument for me. On what grounds do you win this case, do you believe?
Well, I mean, you win the grounds based on the Civil Rights Act. I mean, the interpretation they're using here is that the Civil Rights Act from back in the 60s and 70s has to do with transgender and orientation and gender identity. It has absolutely nothing to do with that whatsoever. They're going so far as using a liberal edict from the EEOC, a group of 5 people that are appointed by the Obama administration who somehow interpret the law of the Constitution and say that it does apply to that when it absolutely doesn't. So the real issue here is the rule of law, and at its basis, Bill, the rule of law applies to everybody, including the President of the United States and the Justice Department.
You know, your state could lose a lot of money. A lot of companies are lining up against you. We will see how that fight goes, and we will see how this legal argument develops. Sir, thank you for your time today. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest.
Thank you, Bill.
In Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you.